Officer, Class 2 Dayton Morgan. And as you make your way into the House of Culture, you would notice that the street lining is furnished by members of the Belize Defense Force, the National Police Department, the National Coast Guard, and the parade is being facilitated by Force Sergeant Major Warrant Officer Class 1, Wilfredo Mahano, a graduate of the Non-Commissioned Officer Center of Excellence and Sergeants Major Academy. Good morning again, and welcome to today's ceremony. At this time, we are awaiting the arrival of our dignitaries, and the arrival will be done. We will start with the Cabinet Secretary, His Excellency Ambassador Stuart Leslie, who is at this time the Deputy Governor General. His approval was given by the Palace to appoint Ambassador Stuart Leslie as acting Governor General since the retirement of the former Governor General Sir Colville Young. A ceremony was held at Belize House on April 29, 2021, appointing Ambassador Leslie as the acting Governor General. He will act until today, May 27, 2021, when the Governor General designate is sworn in as Governor General. Following the Deputy Governor General's arrival, we will see the arrival of Honorable Madame Justice Michelle Arana, Acting Chief Justice, and she, as the head of the Judiciary, has the all-important task of swearing in the Governor General designate this morning. We will then see the arrival of the Prime Minister and leader of the opposition and the Prime Minister, who will be escorted in upon arrival. Today is also a day to be able to acknowledge and enjoy the band of the Belize Defense Force. They're more than just a marching band. The BDF band is a military band tasked with providing musical support for the state, including the BDF, police, and the Coast Guard. The unit today is providing a parade band and an ensemble to accompany Miss Nolita Castillo, who will be singing the Belizean national anthem. This time, we acknowledge the arrival of Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Patrick Faber. And there you have some of the prelude music being provided by 13 Catnil Productions marimba players. The marimba players are Francisco Cho, Juan Cho, Pedro Cho, and the marimba music is being played includes contrabando and be'eleb san. The Governor General designate will also be participating in some traditional parts of the ceremony today. Of Acting Chief Justice, Honorable Justice Michelle Arana as head of the Judiciary. The Honorable Madame Justice Michelle Arana, as Acting Chief Justice and Head of the Judiciary, will also have the very historic task of swearing in or Governor General designate today. We now have the arrival of Prime Minister Honorable John Briceño and Mrs. Briceño, Special Envoy for Development of Families. As he makes his arrival, the Prime Minister will receive a general salute. And of course, a salute is a gesture of respect or political or polite recognition and acknowledgement, especially one made to or by a person when arriving or departing. A greeting, salutation, sign, or token or ceremony expressing goodwill, compliment, or respect for saluting a superior. The salute, the present arms, and the salute with the sword were methods by which the person paid a compliment could show the person to whom the compliment was paid that no offense was meant. They are all symbolic of loyalty and trust.
Shoulder! Up! General salute! Present! Up!
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we acknowledge the arrival of Governor General Designate Miss Froila Salam.
Right! Right! Shot! Shoulder! Arms! General salute! Present! Arms! Right! Shoulder! Arms! Honor! Arms! Standard! Ace! Stand! Easy!
Apologize, that was in fact the acting Governor General, His Excellency Mr. Stuart Leslie. I'm sure you all noticed, right? And at this time, we officially welcome the Governor General Designate, Her Excellency Miss Froila Salam.
Right! Right! Shot! Shoulder! Arms! General salute! Present! Arms!
O land of the free, by the Carib Sea, our manhood we pledge to thy liberty. No tyrant here linger, despots must flee this tranquil haven of democracy. The blood of our sires which hallows the sod brought freedom from slavery, oppression's rod. By the might of truth and the grace of God, no longer shall we be hewers of wood. Rise, ye sons of the Bayman's clan, put on your armor, clear the land, drive back the tyrant, let despots flee. Land of the free, Father has blessed thee with wealth untold. Our mountains and valleys where prairies roll. Our fathers, the baymen, valiant and bold, drove back the invader this heritage hold. From proud Rio Hondo to old Sarstoon, through coral isles over blue lagoon. Keep watch with the angels, the stars and moon. For freedom comes tomorrow's noon. Arise, ye sons of the Baymen's clan, put on your armor, clear the land, drive back the tyrant, let despots flee. Land of the free, by the Carib Sea.
Right! Shoulder! Up! Order! Up! Standard! Hey! And easy.
And there you had the arrival of Governor General Designate Ms. Froila Salam. We'd like to take a moment to acknowledge as well that the Governor General Designate is wearing a dress by a Belizean designer, and it is Mopan inspired. The designer is Ronelli Riquenya from Zavia Designs. The national anthem was sung by Miss Nelita Castillo with an ensemble from the BDF's Parade Band. As you remain standing, we now call upon Right Reverend Bishop Philip Wright for the invocation.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we come before you today ever mindful of your goodness to us in giving us this beautiful land to call our own, in giving us each other to share in the hospitality of your creation, in giving us life without which nothing is possible. We especially thank you for the variety in cultures, ethnicities, and peoples who make up this, our one human family. From east to west, from north to south, we come giving expression to that beautiful image that bears your likeness and in which we were created. May we never be found wanting in our efforts to give true value and dignity to every human person and to respect and protect the crucible of this fragile yet often resilient earth, the environment that sustains our very existence. Lord, we pray for our leaders. May these servants who are in positions of authority take that responsibility seriously and do their very best each day. May they realize their need for you and for your direction. May they bear and hear your voice as they make decisions on our behalf. And may they follow your guidance. May they have a passion for people, for truth, and for righteousness. We ask your blessing on our new Governor General, Her Excellency Froila Salam, as today she officially takes office. May she always be guided by that inner light of love, inspiration, wholeness, and joy. May her tenure be one that affords her the opportunity to shine light on what is best for us as a people, what is best in us as a people, and what gives expression to our highest ideals and greatest aspirations. May she, as head of state and representative of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, embody those things that have always made us proud to be Belizean and given us our rightful place in the Commonwealth of Nations. Bless our proceedings this morning, dear Lord, and may your holy name be praised. Amen.
Thank you very much, Right Reverend Bishop Philip Wright. You may now be seated. Good morning to His Excellency Stuart Leslie, Acting Governor General, Honorable John Briceño, Prime Minister of Belize, and Mrs. Briceño, Special Envoy for Development of Families, Honorable Justice Michelle Arana, Acting Chief Justice, Right Reverend Philip Wright, Bishop of the Anglican Diocese, Honorable Members of Cabinet, Honorable Members of the National Assembly, His Worship Bernard Wagner, Mayor of Belize City, Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, and members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to welcome you to today's historic occasion, the installation ceremony of Governor General. I must say it is an honor and a privilege to be a part of today's event, and we look forward to understanding more and learning more about our new Governor General Designate, Her Excellency Miss Froila Salam. And we have a special video prepared to be able to share a little bit about the life and work of Miss Froila Salam.
I am a woman. I am a sister. I am a wife. I'm an auntie. I'm a companion. There are multiple roles, and all of those are me. And the dominant one is what is needed at the time.
Froila Salam is a Belizean Mopan Maya anthropologist, a community leader, and now the local representative for Queen Elizabeth II in Belize. Her appointment marks the first Indigenous Governor General in the Commonwealth.
You will see me every day. I was surprised, very happy and proud of her, but it never occurred to me that that would come nothing at Froila Salam's goal. But I quickly realized that, why not? Froila is a hardworking, dynamic, passionate person. She always strives to do the best in whatever she does. She even funded herself going to the university. She has no barriers. She strives to do her best, excels in everything that she does. So, yes, why not? Why not our Mayan girl from San Antonio, Toledo?
Salam was born in San Antonio Village in the Toledo district. Her humility and determination created the opportunity for her to study overseas. She acquired a bachelor's degree in anthropology from Trinity University in Texas. When she returned to Belize, she landed a job at the leading national television station.
But the game that appealed to all ages was puck to puck. It was similar to basketball and with just as many fans. The game was played on a big court like this one at Lubantun, with round stone hoops placed 30 feet apart.
Froila later attained a master's degree in rural development from the University of Sussex in England. The knowledge she gained intensified her passion for education and culture. Salam led the Institute of Social and Cultural Research for the National Institute of Culture and History. She was also the co-director of the African and Mayan History Program with the Ministry of Education. For many, she has been instrumental in the preservation of Belize's tangible and intangible cultural heritage.
I am a multiplicity of identities, multiplicities of personalities, and I think that's what each one of us is on a day-to-day basis.
My dad always said, who are we and what are we here for? What are we as a Maya people, as indigenous people, as native people? And I think I have spent most of my professional life trying to answer that question. For me, the critical gap has been the colonial period. We know who the ancient Maya were. We kind of have an idea of who the modern Maya are, but we don't know what happened to the colonial period. And a lot of my professional career has been trying to answer that question. We are where we are because of what history has been to us.
Over the years, Salam became a voice for indigenous communities in the South, speaking out on issues like customary land rights, economic empowerment, environmental justice, governance, land and natural resources management, and women's rights. She would later become the executive director of the Sarsoon Temash Institute for Indigenous Management in 2014 and held that post until she was appointed the Governor General of Belize.
Froela was an excellent replacement. It was not me that made that determination. It was the communities, the alcaldes and the elders that made that determination.
For her, it's good. But I think it's a big loss for the Mayans. I believe so. Ms. Froela is going to leave the community and the Mayans, so it's a big loss. So who else can we going to depend on them? When we cry, they listen to us. But now, if we're going to cry, who wants to listen to us?
It was a bittersweet decision because that's exactly what I thought about. But the question I ask myself is, where am I more relevant? Where can I make a difference? And I believe that I can make that difference in my new role. Because no longer is it just about the aspirations of the Maya people, but about all Belizeans.
She has served the community from the work that she did, being community spirit, from assisting me to taking water to the elderly in our community, to now a bigger and prestigious post office. I know Belizeans on a whole will benefit from her because she's all into culture, history. I think she will only be serving her people in another capacity because that is what Froela has been, serving the community. And I am confident that she will do a wonderful job in doing so.
I don't think the communities are losing a voice as such. I believe Froela will continue to champion human rights as the new Governor General for Belize. And it's just that where she championed that cause will be perhaps in a different space.
So I don't think of it as a loss, but a strengthening, because I know what it means to be there. I have been in the trenches. And because I have been in the trenches, I feel the pain and I feel the joy. And that will guide me in the future.
The appointment of Froela Salam is a bold step for the country. It aligns with the government's recent focus on indigenous peoples' affairs in Belize.
It is highly significant in showing in a tangible way that women can take our rightful place beside our male partners as equal partners in development and as leaders. A woman of dynamism, a woman of substance, a woman of keen intellect who really grasps all the developmental issues of our country, and in particular, the developmental issues of the Toledo district. There is a lot of protocol and there are lots of institutional issues, and she will be signing legislation, welcoming ambassadors. But I think that it gives Belize a wonderful star to shine.
Froela represents Belize, the inclusive society that we are trying to create. She also represents a hope where we now see a Maya from the San Antonio Maya Reservation, ascending to the highest office in Belize.
Throughout her years of service to the country, her various roles have prepared Salam for her new capacity as the country's most senior diplomat.
Because it was never an office I ever thought about. Perhaps because so few have held it. People want to be doctors, nurses, teachers, farmers, but no one ever says I want to be the GG. So I live my life not knowing if I will see tomorrow, thinking that if I can make a difference, if my work counts for anything, I must do that work today, not tomorrow. And so it has always been one where I have a vision, an idea, and every day I try to enact that idea. And my knowledge of culture and history, interacting with community people, I think has prepared me. I would like to think my critical personality, which is to listen to people, to be humble, but to speak up when I need to. I think those will be my armor, those will be my strength going forward. Am I ready today? No. But whoever is ready for something. Because to say you're ready now means acknowledge, would be almost acknowledge that you know everything there is to know. And I don't know. So I'm excited, I'm overwhelmed, I'm humbled, and I'm immensely, immensely proud of this opportunity that somebody somewhere started, and they said, can she be the next person for us to lead us?
Froila Salam, the first Indigenous American Governor General in the Commonwealth.
On behalf of the Commonwealth family, I'm delighted to extend my warmest congratulations to Her Excellency Ms. Froila Salam on her appointment as the new Governor General of Belize, a cherished member of our family. The COVID-19 pandemic has presented all nations with unprecedented challenges and has resulted in severe human loss, as well as the depletion of years of economic progress for many countries. The suffering across our Commonwealth has been profound, and no country has been left untouched by its presence. In these circumstances, community and environmental resilience are key as we work together towards rebuilding stronger and better. In this regard, Belize's new Governor General is uniquely placed to spearhead initiatives which can further foster the Belizean community's resourcefulness in overcoming the present difficulties. Her Excellency's background is impressive. Whilst she is a rural development and resource management specialist, her extensive work in enhancing education across the country has been truly remarkable and inspiring. This has been rooted in her strong academic background, which has endowed her with a deep understanding of the communities that make up the Belizean population. As an anthropologist and the first Indigenous woman to be appointed to the post, the Governor General's expertise will help to deepen understanding, unity and resilience within the Belizean nation, and will build on the far-reaching work that her predecessor, Sir Colville Norbert Young, has undertaken throughout his remarkable 28-year tenure. On behalf of the Commonwealth, I wish to extend my very best wishes to the new Governor General as she embarks on this exciting journey and takes on this great responsibility. I am certain that she will discharge her duty with the same diligence, passion, and flair which has marked her commitment and leadership to the people of Belize to date. I look forward to working closely with the Governor General, the government, and people of Belize so that we can realize the hopes and aspirations which are embodied in the Commonwealth Charter and the Sustainable Development Goals for the benefit of the Belizean nation and the Commonwealth family.
I am a woman. I am a sister.
you had the congratulatory message by Commonwealth Secretary General Baroness Patricia Scotland. Today's occasion is, of course, a historic one, as has been noted a few times already. Her Excellency, Ms. Froila Salam, appointment is historic as the first indigenous female Governor General in the Commonwealth. She will also serve as Belize's third Governor General. Here to give the official address and introduction to the Governor General designate, we invite Prime Minister Honorable John Briceño to make his remarks.
Thank you very much, Marlene. Her Excellency Designate, Froila Salam, Governor General Designate, Honorable Chief Justice Michelle Arana, Acting Chief Justice, Most Reverend Philip Wright, Anglican Bishop of Belize, members of the Cabinet, members of the National Assembly, Leader of the Opposition and his fiancée, His Worship the Mayor of Belize City, Bernard Wagner, Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, Excellencies of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a special day for Belize. First, because we are about to install our third Governor General, but more so because we will install an outstanding Belizean woman of extraordinary skills and talent to represent our sovereign. Second, because for the first time in almost 40 years of independence, a Maya Belizean woman from the south, actually from San Antonio, Toledo, is the representative of our head of state. This in and of itself is historic, not only for Belize, but for our region, and now told throughout the Commonwealth. I am sure that this makes all Belizeans very proud. Her Excellency Designate the Governor General of Belize, Ms. Froila Salam, brings with her more than just 20 years of experience in our rich Maya history and culture. She brings more than her master's in rural development and her anthropology degree. She brings more than the sum total of her work as an academic, her scholarly publications, and decades of experience as a community organizer, all of which makes her fully qualified for her new role. She also brings with her a beautiful family, a supportive husband, and two wonderful children who will support her and her work in the service of our nation. Our third Governor General will have big shoes to follow, for her predecessor, Sir Colville Young, served our nation with distinction for almost 3 decades. Loved by the people, Sir Colville dedicated his years as our Governor General to dignified service and set his own standard for the office of the Governor General. As a nation, we will forever be grateful to Sir Colville for his long and selfless service to our nation. We will always be grateful for his commitment to the youth and for his promotion of the arts. I know I speak for all when I say thank you, Sir Colville, for your selfless service to our nation. And so the torch has been passed from one generation to another. It is now time for Her Excellency Froila Salam to bring her style and grace to this high office, always clear in the knowledge that she is called to the service of our nation and our people, all our people. El pueblo beliceño felicita y le desea a su excelencia la gobernadora muchos éxitos en sus obligaciones en servicio al pueblo. Estamos muy orgullosos de poder elevar hoy, una vez más, a otra dama beliceña de mucho carácter y distinción. Estamos convencidos que nos va a llenar de mucho orgullo. Enhorabuena. I am sure, Excellency, that you will carry out your duty to this nation with diligence, dedication, and commitment to Her Majesty the Queen, and especially to our beloved Belize. I thank you, and may God continue to bless our wonderful country, Belize.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister Honorable John Briceño. We now have a cultural presentation that will be performed by the Belize Dance Company.
Bagamba iherero para balisi na wawago ai kibe girigio yubuitinya nuwaga irongo ege imenyo lira weigie ai hey come suba hey niño ikabunari suna ibo hey bahaguana bo Eliane, mama, Eliane, like a
Central America we rule. We're the only English-speaking country. Diverse cultures and unity. Cargo south on the South PG. Barrier reef up the West Nile. Put your hands at the time to go. I am ready to start this show. Hands up in the air. It's September time. Time for my country. My belief to shine. My belief my home. I will never leave your side. Because I have belief and pride. Belief and pride. Let me take you to my jungle, where the fauna them a play. Exotic wildlife, the sun shines every day. It's believed for day and it's time to jump. Stop the party all through the land. Let us sing in harmony. To the people up in San Pedro, bailamos conmigo. I am ready to start this show.
Of applause. It's been a long time since we've seen that much dancing, everybody. And that was a celebration of Belizean cultures by the National Dance Company. We now move into a very significant portion of today's events. this time, the Governor General Designate, Ms. Froila Salam, will take and subscribe to the Oath of Allegiance. That oath is to be administered by Her Ladyship Michelle Arana, Acting Chief Justice. The Governor General Designate will hold the Bible and read the Oath of Allegiance from the Oath Book. And then she will sign the oath, followed by Her Ladyship Michelle Arana, Acting Chief Justice. The oath for the due execution of the office of Governor General will now be taken.
Could you repeat after me, please? I, Froila Salam, do solemnly and sincerely affirm and declare that I will bear true faith and allegiance to Belize, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, and will uphold the Constitution and the law, and that I will conscientiously, impartially, and to the best of my ability, discharge my duties as Governor General of Belize, and do right to all manner of people, without fear or favor, affection or ill will. So help me God. I will now ask you to sign. And successful tenure.
It is official. A round of applause. At this time, we invite for her inaugural address, Governor General of Belize, Her Excellency, Ms. Froila Salam.
His Excellency Stuart Leslie, Honorable John Briceño, Prime Minister of Belize, and Mrs. Briceño, Special Envoy for Development of Families. Honorable Justice Michelle Arana, Acting Chief Justice. Reverend Philip Wright, Bishop of the Anglican Diocese. Honorable Ministers of Cabinet, Honorable Members of the National Assembly, His Worship Bernard Wagner, Mayor of Belize City, Dean of the Diplomatic Corps and members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, ladies and gentlemen. Jo situlaka la kenish waye, I etela kenish tansha wikon aka kinada hi. Watikte asanto wise, watikta santo hoko. I am honored to stand before you today as a Belizean Mopan woman and to express my deep humility and gratitude for this recognition. I am very aware of the responsibility that comes from holding this office, and I will do my work as I have done elsewhere, with passion and commitment to do good to the best of my ability. I must acknowledge my predecessor, Sir Colville Young and Lady Young, for their unwavering commitment to Belize for nearly 3 decades of service. Their love of music created a legacy which has been recognized by so many. I want to thank the Prime Minister, Honorable John Briceño, and his cabinet for their trust in me to serve in this high office. I also want to thank the many Belizeans who have expressed their delight and support over social media and personal notes to my appointment. Many Roots people and others have expressed their pride and happiness in seeing someone like them reflected at the highest office in Belize. All children can now aspire to be a Governor General, no matter their background. It has truly been a humbling experience and a symbol of Belize's maturity. I also want to acknowledge the people who, over the years, share advice, experience, and support. I am here because of them. I acknowledge my mother, Wanatak, my tat, Florentina Salam Sr., who passed away some 30 years ago, but I feel his energy and love. Although we were not financially wealthy, we had our values. My parents did not raise us to see ourselves as poor. We had food and shelter. I was surrounded by family, with lots of rooms to run around, as well as chores to teach me how to be responsible. These chores imbibed in me an appreciation for the benefits of hard work. I want to salute my family and friends here and abroad, and the countless people who have molded me. And lastly, I thank my husband, Daniel Mendez, and our children, Yasil and Yanilzak. They are part of this journey, and I will need their patience and love to guide me and to keep me grounded. While the installation of a Mopan woman as a Governor General can be seen as a symbolic milestone, it should not be seen as willfully ignoring our colonial past. Rather, it is a new chapter in Belize's evolution as a country for all and by all. I intend to carry out the constitutional role of this office with the required diligence. It is also my hope that time will permit me to carry out more than my constitutional duties. This is an institution with its own culture. However, like all institutions, it is inhabited by people. Since my appointment was announced, I have had many requests made of me, from building bridges and roads to amplifying the voices of the people. I intend to fully build metaphorical bridges in this country, uniting all of us in the rural areas and the towns. I will use my interest in strengthening local communities to build a nation that can overcome challenges. For us in Belize, we're beginning to understand that there is more than one way to live, more than one way to talk, more than one way to see reality. As someone who has been vocal and passionate about our culture and history, and looking at how society is organized, the Office of Governor General can provide a platform for unifying our diverse voices. I will do my part to empower Belize at all levels, from the individual to the national. The COVID-19 pandemic has exposed our personal and institutional vulnerabilities. Many people who have worked hard all their lives found themselves overnight unable to take care of their families. As a result, there is much psychological trauma, and we must address it. I believe that although we are in a crisis and facing economic catastrophe, Belize will rise from the ashes like a phoenix. However, we must shift our values. As a Mopan woman, my worldview colors how I engage with the world. We are all interconnected. Humans, the environment, and the world. My culture taught me how to be respectful while knowing that unless I can understand and empathize with you, I will truly not know what the invisible barriers are. The Dare Dance today highlights the interconnected relationship between humans, the seen and unseen. Our physical world is more than just the environment. It is everything in between and more. We cannot litter where we sleep, and we have a responsibility that extends beyond human beings. Out of sight does not mean there is no more danger. We ignore only to our peril. My indigenous people got to know our natural environment, and we sustained ourselves over millennia. We understood the limits of our environment, and that caring for the environment is an act of self-care. We have a moral duty to be the guardians and to take better care of our natural resources for our future generations of Homo sapiens sapiens and all of God's creatures. The pandemic unearthed our creative capital, the engine of new ideas that creates new opportunities. We just need to cultivate it. I pledge to support the skills necessary to harness our individual and collective creativity. This creativity can inform how Belize rebuilds its economy. We are experiencing climate change faster than we ever expected. The predictions are that bigger storms and deeper droughts are coming our way. It might be too late to prevent them, but we can learn to adapt, to be resilient. To me, resilience is the ability to adapt to change without losing your values and your sense of identity. And in that sense, we can build our country's future on the foundation of a particularly Belizean sustainable development. I commit to supporting civil society, which is a critical element of a modern democratic society and a source of innovation and creativity. Having worked in the civil society sector, I am aware of the scarce human and financial resources that prevent us from achieving our full potential, not just for Belize, but for the world. The question is, how can we foster our country's homegrown ideas, talent, and solutions? I think the civil society sector can provide an example. There are widening gaps among our people. We must strive to do more. But we all need to be empowered to do our part. Otherwise, we are just engaged in dependency, something our country chose on September 21st, 1981, to break away from. The difference between dependence and resilience is whether you are on your knees or standing on your own 2 feet. My most recent experience taught me how we can achieve much more as a group and as a community than we can alone. But that takes time and trust in each other. Relationships determine how we relate to the world. Where there are broken, violence, hate, and corruption fill in the space. I will do my part through the Office of the Governor General to rebuild relationships within communities and among communities. George Price, our first Prime Minister, reached out to all Belizeans to weave an invisible thread of nationhood. I would like to serve as a visible thread between communities and the government. People need to see and talk to their leaders to feel that their opinion matters. I intend to travel all over this country, meeting you, learning about you, so that I can be the best Governor General ever, for all. As I come to an end, I want to reiterate my commitment to the office and the responsibility it brings. Being the first Maya Governor General, I intend to work with all Belizeans and bring a message of hope and a call to action. I want to acknowledge our diplomatic friends present today. Belize, sitting at the table with like-minded countries, can advocate for creative solutions to global challenges. Lastly, as all your faces are hidden by a mask, it is a visible sign that we are still in a pandemic. I wish to express heartfelt condolences to the families and friends who have lost loved ones to the disease. We must continue to be vigilant. I wish to extend my support to all those who serve in uniform, our soldiers, sailors, police officers, firefighters, nurses, and doctors who protect us and our beloved country. We have reason to be hopeful. Thank you, and may the Almighty bless you.
Thank you very much, Her Excellency Ms. Froila Salam, Governor General of Belize. Our new Governor General will now participate in a handover of color. This is an exchange that is a symbolic gesture. And the exchange of flags is used to represent a change of command ceremonies of the armed forces. The acting Governor General will hand over the Belize flag to the newly appointed Governor General of Belize. Now, for the first time, our new Governor General will receive the Royal Salute. And the royal salute is, of course, the compliments that derive from the origin, from the sovereign, to whom the highest compliment is paid. We now move into the deer dance and spiritual blessing.
have your permission to march a parade off.
And there we have the departure of Her Excellency Miss Froila Salam, Governor General of Belize. We now have the departure of other officials. And at this time, Ambassador Stuart Leslie will receive a general salute as a signal of appreciation for taking up the responsibility as acting Governor General. Now we have the departure of Prime Minister John Briceño and Mrs. Briceño. Now the departure of Acting Chief Justice, Honorable Justice Michelle Arana. The departure of the Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Patrick Faber.
That's great. Fun. That's it. Right! And class order. Right! Yes! Right! Shoulder! Arms! The parade will march off. Move to the right in front. Right! Turn!
Column party, at the hill, change direction right, right, four, good, more. Column party, right, push.
Up. Right! Bar enough! Quick! March!
I know. And there you have the march of the Guard of Honor. And of course, today's parade is furnished by members of the Belize Defense Force Service and Support Battalion, the National Police Department, and National Coast Guard. The parade commander is Lieutenant Colonel James Petillo, and the parade sergeant major is Warrant Officer Class 1 Miguel Cano. The parade is being facilitated by Force Sergeant Major Warrant Officer Class 1 Wilfredo Mahano. And with that, we want to say thank you to everyone who came out for this historic occasion today. It has been an honor, and have a great day and stay safe.